Yes, guys, we are back. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. और भाई साहब एक डाबी वीकेंड वापस से और there's so much to discuss. Yes, I know the cricket fever is on. तो भाई we are going to be back to back live almost on Almighty Blues FC and Almighty Sports. तो पहले ही बोल देता हूँ like we do throughout the year. तो भाई कौन कौन है यहाँ पर आ जाइए, यहाँ पर बोलिए. What are you looking forward to most this weekend? A lot of it, of course. El Clasico, यार. El Clasico is there. Yes, for people out there wondering भाई क्लासिको का प्रीव्यू कहाँ है, हम यहाँ पर डिस्कस करेंगे ब्रीफली फॉर श्योर. जितना हो सके टाइम परमिट्स विल डिस्कस दैट फॉर श्योर. बट लेट्स बी रियल, हमने डिस्कस करना है द मैनचेस्टर डार्बी, बट इवन चेल्सी का लंदन डार्बी, टॉटनहम का लंदन डार्बी आज रात को है, अमंग अदर मैचेस एज वेल. सेरिया एज ऑलवेज विल बी कवर्ड एज वेल एज एफपीएल. लेकिन हाँ, क्विकली डिस्क्लेमर दे रहा हूं भाई, एल क्लासिको का डिटेल में जो है थोड़ा सा अलग से वीडियो निकालेंगे हम कल सुबह, लेकिन वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग दैट एज वेल. तो भाई बने रहना जो भी यहाँ पर आए. याद रखिए वी विल गो गेम बाय गेम, लीग बाय लीग एंड देन कम टुवर्ड्स एफपीएल. तो भाई डू नॉट ब्रेक द चेन. कहीं कहीं सब लोग आ जाए तो भाई बहुत बढ़िया है, क्योंकि हम लोग सब डिस्कस करते हैं. इट्स अ फैन चैनल फॉर ऑल टू सी. यू ऑल नो दैट. So जो भी लोग आए, first of all hit that like button. Yes, we'll be joined by Nathan as well, a Manchester United ultra, absolutely, in just a couple minutes. लेकिन उससे पहले भाई सब लोग बोलिए which match are you most looking forward to in the chat. Messi is good, क्या हाल है भाई? Nice to see you. FPL वाइल्ड कार्ड टीम भेज रहा हूँ, स्टार्ट करना. सौरदीप, मैंने जैसे बोला आपको भाई, थोड़ा सा सब्र रखिए मेरे भाई. बिग अप टू सौरदीप. सौरदीप ऑलवेज डूइंग वेल, शॉर्टेड है आपको, लेकिन थोड़ा सा आप 2 बार डीएम कर दिए मुझे, मैं आपको बोला भी हूँ दैट वी विल बी कवरिंग इट. सो थोड़ा सा trust me, we will be covering it. Simple as that. We'll be covering it towards the end of the stream, like we do each and every week for every game week of last couple of years. हम करते हैं सौरदीप, थोड़ा सा सब्र रखिए. Let's have थोड़ा सा shout outs as well. राज यहाँ पर क्या हाल है भाई? आपने एल क्लासिको का नाम कैप्शन में नहीं डाला, मुझे लगा कि आप भूल ही गए. नहीं नहीं नहीं, कैसे भूल सकते भाई? कैसे भूल सकते? बस someone who's watching El Clasico from 2000 bro, definitely not. एल क्लासिको का 2 बार बात करेंगे, यहाँ पर बात करेंगे टुवर्ड्स द एंड, बट आल्सो विल बी डूइंग अ सेपरेट वीडियो व्हिच वी हैव ऑलरेडी रिकॉर्डेड बाय द वे. वो कल सुबह आएगा. रोहान उसके बारे में डिस्कस करना है. लेकिन भाई मैनचेस्टर डार्बी इज आल्सो ह्यूज, द ग्रेटेस्ट स्पोर्टिंग इवेंट इन दिस वीकेंड. एल क्लासिको सब लोग बोल रहे हैं लेवा स्टिकर चेंज करो भैया, ऑल्सो बेलिंगम स्टिकर प्लीज. चलो टाइम टू चेंज द इमोजीज. लेकिन जो एग्जिस्टिंग इमोजीज भाई, राज इन द हाउस इज यूजिंग एज वेल एज पुदन. General Bumrah is in the house as well, or I think Nathan is also joining. I believe Nathan, as soon as you switch on your camera, bro, I'll put you on screen. Okay, so let's see. El Clasico is above all derbies. Why? Definitely, I agree. इसलिए El Clasico का अलग से वीडियो हम निकालने वाले. That is what it is. I agree with that comment, Ashutosh. Waiting for derby, Raj बोल रहे for sure. लेकिन as we say that, why the derby all the derbies to El Clasico. लेकिन यहाँ पर talking about derbies, an ultra in the house by Nathan, what's up? Why Nathan is wearing blue as well today? What's up Nathan? All good? I thought you would be
Good,
wearing
good.
red
I have to,
to
I
the
have to be, I
Manchester
have to be
derby preview.
very honest. I'm very disappointed with Chelsea. I was hoping they'd thrash Arsenal, but
I am more disappointed, bro. Trust me that, क्योंकि मैं literally डिप्रेशन में चले गया था एक दिन के लिए. 24 घंटे वो होता ही है, but in the end of the day, भाई, it is still a team which is work in progress. So we'll be discussing that as well.
Sanchez is such a
Yeah, by the way, Arsenal
Sanchez.
man, General Bumrah, I have to say, कहीं ना कहीं मतलब you are along with Tottenham right up there, but as much as I hate saying it, but it's a fact. नहीं यार, Reece James is fine. चलो हम बात ही करते हैं, चलो शुरू कर देते हैं. Let's start and we'll obviously come to the Manchester derby. भाई जो भी लोग यहाँ पर आए, do not forget to hit that like button so that we have more people joining in. आप लोगों को बताइए, हर एक हफ्ता हम करते हैं वीकेंड का वॉर. तो भाई सब लोग let's get in, everyone, let's like, share and of course yeah, shout out to Sports Nut Nathan first up. So Nathan, we'll come to the Manchester derby, we'll come to even Spurs and Arsenal and Liverpool and of course the El Clasico and all that, all the discussion for sure. लेकिन सबसे पहले भाई, because you said that you were disappointed and of course मैंने भी जानबूझकर from last couple of days I've not done a Chelsea video as such, because I was also getting over it that to kind of have Arsenal at 2-0 for about 75 minutes and then kind of giving it away with Poch being in the dugout. It's not like he's an inexperienced manager, that's there. But another London derby, a back-to-back. We know the fixtures this month is going to be crazy. 1 month for Chelsea the coming month. But Brentford, Now Brentford is something that I rate Thomas Frank like anything, but at the same time, Brentford haven't been doing very well up until that game against Burnley, where they were playing a 10-man Burnley, and then they finally won, I think 3-0 last game, whereas Chelsea obviously
3-0.
drew against Arsenal. Having said that, Nathan, if you are a Chelsea fan, now we are unbeaten for 3 Premier League games. Does it not count for something at least? Malab, right now, what do you think the players of Chelsea will be feeling? That the fact that it felt like a loss, Arsenal, of course, right? But considering it's one of the youngest squads, and the fact that we have not lost for 3 games, which was so unlike Chelsea for the last 3 months, right? Malab, don't you think that going into this Brentford game and again playing at home, I think it's more of confidence than not?
I think, first of all, oh, hold on. I think it should be, you should get confidence, but I have to say, as someone who watched a lot of Chelsea games last season, and I think I said it on your channel as well, I didn't necessarily think you all were playing bad. I just think Kai Havertz is absolute crap. But actually, Kai Havertz is still absolute crap. So that's, sorry, was the wrong choice of words there. Still is.
But he chooses some of the right games to score, even for
Ankit,
Chelsea.
it doesn't matter. Like, someone was telling me he won Chelsea a Champions League. I'm like, but based on that theory, Ryan Bertrand has a Champions League. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, you have to perform game in and game out. This is not like a Divock Origi
Yeah, but
Barcelona
there's a difference,
4-4
right? Obviously, come on.
kind
As
of
in, I
thing.
get
Like,
your analogy, but I think Ryan Bertrand versus Kai Havertz is huge difference, because Kai Havertz was very effective in the Champions League, not just in
no,
the
but what I'm
final,
trying to say is,
even
at
against
the end
Real
of the day,
Madrid.
they both have a Champions League and they both contributed overall. I don't know. I grew up watching Drogba and that Lampard. I mean,
Correct,
I
same
don't
here.
know how people feel. So
Yeah,
I
no, of
won't
course. Matlab,
comment
it's
on that.
nowhere close. The mentality monsters that we these days, call in a league, Liverpool, and I know Liverpool will come to them as well. But actually speaking, as Mourinho made Chelsea that mentality monster at one
Absolutely.
point, as in that was it
Stamford
was
Bridge, I
what
think, is
Ferguson had
probably
made
the first
Manchester United.
time. I think Stamford Bridge is probably the first time where we used to hear the word fortress. Now, like, people use it all the time, but I mean, maybe I'm recollecting incorrectly, but the term fortress, at least like in color commentary, I think the first time I've heard it was used was when Mourinho and was in Chelsea first stint. I could be
Yes, yes.
wrong, but I'm pretty
Anyway,
sure.
definitely, we had like a crazy run. In fact, he himself had मतलब वो घर पे हारा नहीं था for about 4 or 5 years or something, like crazy
Yeah,
stat. But
what was Czech's record? 600 minutes, no goal.
yeah,
What
as
was
in
something
absolutely
like that?
craziness. But again, let's come to the context. The fact is, we are
Yeah,
talking about here.
so I was saying I didn't think Chelsea was, but I think Chelsea lacked a striker of decent quality. I actually thought there were many games that Chelsea could have won. Even looking back at it, I feel like Joao Felix and Kai Havertz should have switched positions. I was watching I did a Barcelona watch along yesterday. I mean, like, he didn't get a goal, but for sure he would have scored under y'all if he was playing further forward. I think the positioning was just wrong. For sure, Havertz was just shouldn't have been in front. I think you also definitely should take confidence. The thing is, the squad is so young. You don't really know how they're going to react. If they get too ahead of their skis, Brentford is going to punish them. Because you said it correctly, Brentford have been on a very bad roll. And when I mean by very bad, I'm actually like looking at the fixtures. Without Ivan Tony, they in the first 8 games they drew 4 and actually only lost 2. They just haven't been able to win. And they came back very strong. Embuemo had a good game. Visa, I always think Visa is very dangerous as a super sub. Maybe a little lackluster when you have a full game behind him. I think you all both should definitely should come with some confidence. I always think Brentford is a tough game, and granted, Tony is not there, so it makes a big difference. But then I called it for my own watch along. I said we have to keep an eye for Matthias Jensen, and Matthias Jensen scored the first goal for Brentford, and I was like, oh god, like, when you don't want to be correct, and then you turned out to be correct. So between Matthias Jensen, Brian Mbuemo, it's going to be. They're going to give a game for sure. And you have to keep in mind, this Brentford doesn't even have Rico Henry. Rico Henry
Hmm.
is always immense when he plays. I think he's very snubbed by Southgate personally. So I think you all should both come for go into it really confident. I think it's going to be fun. But if you go based on form, what you all did against Arsenal is definitely more impressive than what Burnley, what Brentford did against Burnley.
Correct. And
I
there were
think
10
Chelsea
men as
should
well,
be.
Burnley, right?
Yeah, and I think Burnley always tend to open up. So I think eventually Brentford got the better of them. I think it's going to be a very fun game. I have to say I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to
Yeah.
Brentford play in general. So
इट्स एन अर्ली किक ऑफ टुमारो बाय द वे गाइस सब लोग यार
5 o'clock.
आज रात को भी मैच है क्रिस्टल पैलेस वर्सेस टॉटनहम उसके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे भाई जो मैं हाईलाइट का कमेंट थोड़ा सा देखिए अगेन वी विल ट्राई एंड स्टार एज मेनी कमेंट्स जो आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट आ रहे हैं लेकिन ट्राई टू स्टिक टू टॉपिक बिकॉज यू एनीवे नो विल बी डिस्कसिंग ईच एंड एवरी मैच एंड ईच एंड एवरी लीग बिकॉज हम यहाँ पर बायस नहीं करते वी लिटरली टॉक अबाउट एवरी लीग एंड एवरी क्लब बट ऑफ कोर्स स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम माय टीम बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट इट्स अ डार्बी एंड इट्स अ ह्यूज मतलब गेम इन माय ओपिनियन मतलब कहीं ना कहीं कंसिडरिंग that I know we are coming to the derbies and all other derbies as well. लेकिन considering हमारा next EPL में है after the cup game Spurs, then City, then Newcastle, then Brighton, then Manchester United itself, right? So I think this is a must win, absolute must win, absolutely. लेकिन यहाँ पर quick मैं news दे देता हूँ that in terms of injuries, it is bad news. Bad news is that Broja is not available yet. I was hoping that Broja must be, available because Nicholas Jackson does not give that confidence of late. Although preseason में को बहुत अच्छा लगा था, for a couple of games he looked good. अभी भी energy काफी अच्छा लगता मुझे, but he's not a striker where you rely for 90 minutes in a game, right? And that is unfortunately the thing is, but Broja is out. He's not even available. Plus, one more bad news in a sense is I was hoping he Reece James who got a few minutes against Arsenal, although he was invisible because of the very strange tactics towards the end by Poch. Lekin Reece James is only going to be on the bench. Poch has clearly said in the press conference that he's only going to be on the bench, and when Poch says that it is that, then nothing's going to change. Having said that, uh, at home, just Stamford Bridge Fortress and all that Nathan was saying, Chelsea have just won 2 of the last 15 EPL fixtures at home and 1 in 5 home fixtures this season. That is terrible home record. But once upon a time, we used to call the Fortress, then that's how bad we are. And that's what Nathan was referring to. Plus, in London
Just give me a
derbies,
second, Ankit. I'll just join you in a
no
minute.
problem.
Just
Guys, but
apologies.
listen to this. In London derbies, it's a total contrast. यहाँ पर for people who are भाई wanting to know some facts, very fun fact है for people who are neutrals. लेकिन भाई चेल्सी ने लास्ट 12 ईपीएल लंदन डार्बीज में खाली 2 बार जीता है खाली 2 लंदन डार्बीज दैट टेल्स यू कि वी आर स्टिल बॉयज एंड नॉट मेन वो क्लियर है वो आर्सेनल के गेम में भी लास्ट 15 मिनट में मालूम पड़ा था एज मच एज वी आर परफॉर्मिंग बेटर ऑन द अदर हैंड ब्रेंटफोर्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ लंदन डार्बीज आर ग्रेट दे आर इन अ 12 गेम वही 12 गेम्स की बात हो रही है 12 गेम अनबीटन रन इन लंदन डार्बीज इन ईपीएल so something's got to give in this game और by the way last 3 away London derbies Brentford ने जीता है having said that, like I said earlier, they were winless for 6 games before that Burnley victory, Brentford. So and haven't won back-to-back games this season. तो कहीं ना कहीं फॉर्म के हिसाब से, I would say Chelsea and of course home फॉर्म के हिसाब से you would say probably Brentford because they are away और London derby वो better है anyway. But इस बार they have Brentford that is failed to win 3 last away EPL games as well. So that makes it very interesting. Something's got to give वाला मामला 100% लग रहा है इस बार तो. एक सेकेंड मैं यहाँ पर कमेंट ले रहा हूँ और थोड़ा सा ब्रेंटफोर्ड एंड फुलहम फुली डिसअपॉइंटेड मी दिस सीजन पुदन फेयर इनफ लेकिन भाई अब चेल्सी के गेम के पहले भाई हु नोज दैट ऑल ऑफ अ सडन दे टर्न अप लाइक दे टर्न अप अगेंस्ट बर्नली इट
Yeah,
बी
but you have to
इंटरेस्टिंग
also
एंड गेम
realize
लाइक
something, Puddin, you have to realize something. Brentford doesn't have Tony and Rico Henry to keep people. Fulham doesn't have João Palhinha. He's clearly not playing as well after, that. Let's say we saw the video, it was just sad. Let's leave it at that. And Mitrovic obviously went for the money, which is his obviously his prerogative. So obviously they have been very affected by that. Raul Jimenez has not been good since the injury. That's who they bought. I thought it was a mistake. They should have gone young, maybe somewhere else. But it made sense to get Raul Jimenez, but it's not worked out. So that's why probably.
नहीं नहीं आई हियर यू 100% बाय द वे और बाकी कमेंट्स में ले रहा हूँ क्विकली भाई राज यहाँ तक से पूछ रहा है अबाउट रीस जेम्स देखो रीस जेम्स का ऐसा है ना आई थिंक द फैक्ट इज रीस जेम्स हैज हैड सच एन हिस्ट्री ऑफ कोर्स ही इज अ बिट टू यू से स्टॉकी आई वुड नॉट से बल्कि देयर इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस बिटवीन देम ही इज स्टॉकीली बिल्ट सो विद दैट विद द काइंड ऑफ पोजीशन ही प्लेज और जो एंथू जो एनर्जी के साथ खेलता है ऑब्वियसली इज बाउंड टू सम इंजरीज बट एट द सेम टाइम थोड़ा सा हम केयरफुल भी रह रहे हैं because Reece James has had an history. Yes, I know you can argue that Malo Gusto did was at fault probably. Clearly was at fault for Trossard's goal. Malo Gusto should have covered that and not let that ball through. Lekin it is what it is. Of course, यहाँ पर the big talking point is about Sanchez though. So Reece James precautionary on the bench रहेंगे is what Poch has said more or less. Sanchez के बारे में बात करना है. Before that, the thing I'm worried about Chelsea is that whether they will be able to maintain the intensity till the very end of the game. Against Arsenal, they lost their focus, which allowed the Gunners to draw. And I know that is why the good part is Messi is good that we have started the recent games well. A woe is unlike what Chelsea was of say last season and a half, right? Lekin I agree with you that kahin na kahin are we say managing the game or enough to kind of see it out, and that's where the manager also comes in kahin na kahin. A leader on the pitch comes in kahin na kahin. And yes, Gallagher apna kachra has done well, but let's be real. The real leader Reece James is actually outside. But yes, जो भी लोग देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर एक सेकंड क्विकली मैं देख रहा हूँ लाइक्स काफी कम हो रहे हैं. Like I said, always, bhai, it's a format. Let me not repeat it like a broken record. Bhai, we cover each and every game, each and every league. We'll come game by game. Every game will be covered, and trust me, that is across leagues. It's a crazy derby weekend. हमने discuss करना है सब चीज. So सब लोग like button दबा दीजिए. FPL भी हम discuss करेंगे. Pointers, you know that everyone. Let's get the likes in and let's follow Sports Turn Nathan as well. How are you, Ankit? It's been a while. Sunny, it's been a while for you as well. I hope you come more regularly. But कोई नहीं, no problem. Always good to see you guys. बता दिया राज मेरे भाई बता दिया
Also
सब clear.
before we continue, I just want to say something regarding Reece James. I have to say, while I agree to some extent about that statement, I have to also say he's been very poorly managed. If you know someone has a injury issue, you don't play him with injuries. And for sure,
Hmm.
at some point of time, he's been playing with injuries, which has been exacerbated, and then he's got injured again. Uh, I think even Southgate's to be blamed for this as well. Actually, Southgate keeps calling him when he's on injury watch, and I don't like that. That's the thing. This is one of the things I don't like about Southgate, and I think Reece James. You can blame everyone that has coached Reece James up till today, as well as Southgate, and you have to realize something. I not that I'm a science expert, but this is what I've been told. There's a certain part in your athletic prime between this age to between X age to Y age, where your muscles break down and grow again. That's how you notice people's bodies keep changing till their athletic prime. So he's obviously been getting micro tears and problems like that. And it's becoming worse because he's not rested and monitored well enough. And he keeps getting re injured. In a growing
Hmm.
body, when you're younger, this tends to happen, especially depending on how your body is built. So you have to take that into account as well.
Fair enough. Again, भाई quickly अगर people can confirm if you didn't get the notification because YouTube for whatever reason decides randomly do that. But let's basically have the likes in guys. Thomas Frank pre-match talk. समर्थ बोल रहे relax guys, it's Chelsea. बाप रे भाई देखिए लास्ट 3 हफ्तों से मुझे बैंटर मिल रहा है फन वे में ही है. आप लोग भी काफी लोग मुझे मैसेज करते हैं कमेंट करते हैं व्हेन आई पुट अप पोल्स एटसेट्रा. लेट्स बी रियल वी वर I know ifs and buts doesn't make the game. Okay, ifs and buts are not part of the sport, shouldn't be there. But for a young team, it is. For the transition club, it is. We were literally 12 minutes away from saying that Chelsea are back. And I literally mean that. I genuinely mean that. And yes, I know that I was as disappointed. मैं इतना frustrated था. You guys saw that in the watch along. But the fact is we have performed well. ऐसा नहीं कि we didn't perform well. मतलब both the big games this season अभी तक मैं बोल सकता हूँ, be it against Liverpool or Arsenal, we were the better team. I know it counts for nothing at the end of the day, it's just 2 points out of 6. लेकिन we should have taken 6 points, and that is when that थोड़ा सा अगर this boys to men वाला transition हो जाए, we might convert to 6 points going ahead. That's what you would say. पॉच अच्छा करता है usually Arsenal के against, exactly जैसे उसका था record I think last week भी जैसे हमने बोला था. But अभी talking about Brentford, well, I just said something that in derbies we have done badly, and that's where it's boys to men. But talking about boys to men, matlab Real Madrid fans are all of a sudden saying, and we'll be talking about El Clasico towards the end, but Kepa, matlab they are actually liking the fact that Kepa is going to be hopefully be signed full term. यहाँ पर हमारे पास Robert Sanchez है. Now, a lot of Chelsea fan base are discussing this point from the last week, I would say. Entire week, यही discussion हुआ है. Nathan, everyone in the chat do tell me there is a cup game coming up against Blackburn. What Robert Sanchez did against Arsenal, not just that. I know that he has done couple of games and बहुत अच्छा saves and all that, but really touch your heart and say this: was Robert Sanchez really signed to be number one at Chelsea? I would say no. Was Petrovic scouted to be that? Possibly yes. But should we go in for Aaron Ramsdale? Firstly, that Nathan, but even for this game, Brentford ke saath, would you be brave enough if you're Poch to actually bring in Petrovic? Yeah, that'll be like a confidence breaker for Sanchez.
Here's the thing, right? Someone was we have a similar thing about Onana and Bayern there, and I have to disagree completely with one factor. People say confidence, confidence, that right? Like if you think you're actually that good, no, your confidence shouldn't break. You should be like, oh, you know what? Give Petrovic a chance. When you get knocked out of the cup league, you'll just come calling my name back. That's
Hmm.
it. Because it's at the end of the day, it's on the manager which goalkeeper he picks. We can blame Sanchez for whatever stupidity he did for the Arsenal game. That's fine. But moving forward, every single match moving forward, Poch picks the team. If Petrovic makes a mistake and you get knocked out of the cup, you can't blame Sanchez for that, can you? So so if he was really confident, he'd be like, you know what? If Sanchez is as good as he thinks he is, let's see what Petrovic can do in the cups. This is what we used to do when we had David De and arguably the world's best number two goalkeeper. I think we had the world's best number two goalkeeper. We had Sergio. We had the Argentine goalkeeper Romero, and I think he was probably the world's best number two backup goalkeeper back when we had him. So if you're good enough, it shouldn't be a confidence issue. We had a cup goalkeeper and a league goalkeeper. Most teams back in the day used to have that. It's not that shocking nowadays because everyone wants to try and win as many cups as possible. It is. But before, everyone used to have a cup and a league goalkeeper. You and me have watched football long enough to know that already. So I mean, what was that? Kudicini used to be the cup goalkeeper, right?
नहीं मतलब
What was
yeah,
it?
of course after check
Throwback,
basically
throwback
came
to a
in.
long time ago, Ankit bhai. Carlo
Puccini
Kudicini.
was an awesome number one goalkeeper
I
as
thought
well.
he was a good goalkeeper as well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hilario.
uh, exactly. Hilario,
Hilario.
I wouldn't go so far, but I hear
Hilario is
you.
the goalkeeping coach. He played like 10 games for Chelsea. He's still the goalkeeping coach. Like at
Yeah,
least 2 years
so
ago, I think
again,
he
he
was the
was
goalkeeping
good
coach.
to be a coach, but not to be playing
Yeah.
for
He's
Chelsea
like
week in week out. But I hear you.
He's like Lee Grant for us. Lee Grant was our number three goalkeeper for 10 years and then he just became a goalkeeping coach.
Hmm.
It's that kind of
So
thing.
what is your call? Basically, Petrovic starts in
I
the
say
cup
I
game.
say it's on Poch. If Poch shouldn't be scared about confidence though. If Sanchez thinks he's that good, then he'll get an opportunity to prove it again. I mean, like you can't risk 3 points against Arsenal when it's a really think about it this way, right? If you beat Arsenal, you start the toughest fixture run possibly for any team this year in the league
Hmm.
with 3 points. So it depends on how you look at it. Sanchez
Exactly.
effectively
Again,
cost you a really good start to a very rough 7 games. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. Again, guys, please notice the thing that I'm putting on screen for a reason. Mods, if you can please help us out. भाई अगर 10 कमेंट आ रहे हो उसमें भी आप 5 लोग अलग कमेंट कर रहे हो तो what is the point of discussion? Yeah, the whole idea of a live discussion is to kind of discuss what we are discussing and you give your opinion because we value your opinion. We take your chats if it's relevant. We take as much as possible. तो भाई थोड़ा सा mods
What do you
please
think,
add and
Barankit
remind
bhai?
them to stick to the topic. Yeah, we'll come to every game. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yeah.
What did you
Nathan.
think about Ankit? The same question you asked me. Do you think
Sanchez.
this
Yeah, I
confidence thing
think
is
it's
real?
Sanchez out.
Do you think it's a
Sanchez was
real thing?
mentioned about the goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, no. Do you think the confidence thing is a real thing? Like, if you're really good
No, it's
enough,
not
then
about
why should it?
confidence only. Sanchez is not good enough to be a Chelsea number one for
No,
long, in
because
my
I
opinion,
hear
guys.
everybody, like even Onana, Bayindir, Ramsdale, Raya, like, oh, his confidence must be shattered. I'm like, that's not how it works. The number two goalkeeper becomes number one because he waits for the perfect moment to steal the place. So
Hmm.
if you're that scared of his confidence, that means you have actually bought a goalkeeper that's just not good enough.
See,
Because David
again,
De Gea was never
no, the
scared of
context is
Romero.
important. I know, I wouldn't disagree. I would agree with the fact that he's not good enough. What I would say is he's
No, no,
not
I'm
number one
saying I'm
quality.
saying if you're worried about his confidence, that means you have bought a goalkeeper that's not good enough
Okay, he was
because
not
he should
mentally strong
be.
enough. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I
He
hear
should
you.
never think that way. He should
नहीं
never
लेकिन
think that way.
Nathan context ये है ना context is that Kepa was our number one. Sanchez was bought in to compete with Kepa right? At that point in time, it
Mhm.
was not the
Yeah.
case where Kepa was clearly going out of the way. It was not the case that we wanted Kepa to go badly. Well, we wanted Kepa to be sold. We were not ready for a loan initially, but because Real Madrid came
Mhm.
calling, because of the situation around Courtois, that is the ironical thing in itself, that we decided to kind of let him go, and then he became number one. So the whole idea was Petrovic came in, but again we have kind of, well, effectively, Chelsea are having two very good number two goalkeepers, but we don't have a good number one goalkeeper. That's the whole problem, and that's why the whole talk about Ramsdale and all. But anyway, I would buy everyone 25 minutes. Okay, we have to come to every match. Let's go quickly because I have a Almighty Sports का stream से later. We'll discuss every league. लेकिन quickly अगर lineup पर आ जाते, all the neutrals and Chelsea fans in the house, आप लोग बोलिए आप लोग क्या lineup खिलाना चाहते हो. मतलब मेरा तो भाई फंडा क्लियर है यहाँ पर. Yes, I know यहाँ पर by Cole Palmer, the crazy run of form that he's had already. मतलब already the signing of the season, at least for Chelsea, अभी तक आप बोल सकते हो. But the reality is that will he change? Will Poch change and play him as number 10? Because what I feel is, my mera 2 cents is that uh, against Brentford at home, or the fact is we are not doing well at home, is that we are giving a bit too much respect to the opposition in certain situations of the game. और मैं यहाँ खिलाना चाहता हूँ Cole Palmer, Sterling और Mudryk को, if I'm being real, behind a Nicholas Jackson, or that means either of Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo या Gallagher should be dropped for this game. Yes, because Reece James is on the bench. I see Gallagher and Chilwell obviously is injured. We have about 7 players injured, still injury FC, just like Manchester United and to some extent Barcelona भी. लेकिन the reality is that हमें चाहिए कुछ leadership in a London derby, which probably Gallagher would know, and he's actually been in form. So मैं यहाँ पर Caicedo को bench में रखूंगा. I know it's a huge call. Caicedo has had a couple of great matches, in fact मैं बोलूंगा, but Gallagher is actually edged Caicedo, even if I'm being real. और Enzo और Gallagher को खिलाऊंगा in midfield. Back line, yes, Disasi is back. So he could be back. Brentford are a physical team. यहाँ पर मैं लेवाई कॉलिल को नहीं खिलाऊंगा. This is a great, I would say, yes, it's risky, but I think a great excuse for Chelsea to bed in Badiashile. For me, Badiashile gets in the team for me. Disasi and Badiashile possibly eventually, yes, in the cup game, but I would say इस बार ही लाऊंगा मैं Badiashile को. मैं तो Petrovic को लाता in goal. A lot of changes, yes, to the back line. Back line is not a problem, but still that's basically what I'm saying. क्योंकि we are कहीं ना कहीं, I think, we need to be a little bit more, say, just more optimistic or confident on the front foot वाला चीज. और वहां पर Badiashile is also a threat in the box in the opposition, not just defending, the big, Brentford guys, I would say. But I don't know, आप लोग बोलिए. Nathan, would you be agreeing with me? That means that left back would possibly be either a Kukurea or Colville, because Chilwell is out. Probably Kukurea because he does not deserve to be dropped. Uh, and right back will be Gusto because of Reece James not being fit. Would you change quickly? No.
I think I wouldn't put Colville at left back. I would play people. I'd play as many people who can play their position, play in their position. I wouldn't take a chance with Brentford because Brentford they can be a very tricky side. Also, it depends on who Brentford plays, which is something people don't really um,
They can go
it
either
can be very
4-3-3 or 3-5-2. By the way, yeah? That's the
yeah, and they
aspect
can
as
play
well.
Shard, Visa, Embuemo. They can mix it up. Like it depends on how they also want to play. They are very fluid that way because of the way they set up. But I think as long as Christian Norgard and Matthias Jensen play in the middle, they're going to hound people for sure. That's what I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, Jensen, Norgard, Janelt, big. If from what I have seen, Roslav is someone who can be gotten against. I think Mudrik is going to have a field day with Roslav because
नहीं, लेकिन
I've
मतलब
noticed he's
again,
very shaky.
फु-
He's very
foot
shaky,
so
Roslav.
footmob.com and myself kind of agree on the Mudrik pick. I don't know if but you guys chat, आप लोग अगर वापस से बोलिए what is the level that you would like to see for Chelsea, what should play for Chelsea. I think सुनने में आ रहा है that he might actually play Sterling and Palmer this time, with basically Nicholas Jackson coming back. He might not go the same way, although I won't disagree with this, because the fact is this actually played well against Arsenal. The same, with the false nine system. But to be honest, that is also not giving the right signal to Nicholas Jackson, especially when we are having Broja out. Simple as that. But again, is the mentality? Yes. Again, we have just discussed that, Summer, that yes, that is a yes for me. But आप लोग बोलिए, what is the lineup? What is the scoreline going to be? Quick prediction from you guys, everyone in the chat, or Nathan.
2-1. 2-1. Palmer, Sterling,
Chalo.
Visa.
2-1. 2-1, I would take that easily. Matlab, right now, points is what matters, because we are getting the performances. We're not getting the points, which is so unlike what we used to, relate to Chelsea's here, say a decade or so ago, for people who know
Look at
exactly
that.
what
Look
I'm
at that.
saying.
Just last year, 4-1
Exactly, man.
Brentford.
Brentford. And I just said that when you were away, for 2 minutes, that Brentford has had the upper hand, not just against Chelsea, but in London derbies in general. They have been unbeaten for 12 London derbies. But without repeating, let's go to the next match, guys. 2-1 to CFC again. जो भी लोग यहाँ पर आए, देखिए भाई, it doesn't take a buck. Hit that like button. Certainly helps. Half an hour into the stream, half an hour में से literally around 30 minutes, 6 minutes तो मैंने यही बिताया बोलते हुए कि like बटन दबा दो. सब सर्टनली हेल्प्स, क्योंकि वो एल्गोरिथम ऐसा है यार, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. मैं ट्रिप पर था 4 दिन. यूट्यूब एल्गोरिथम तो ऑलरेडी मरी हुई थी हमारे लिए, और भी मरा दी हम लोग को. मौके पे चौका मार दिए वो लोग. तो हम लोग मौके पे चौका मारते हैं, हम लोग मारते हैं उस लाइक बटन को, हम लोग शेयर करते हैं, बिकॉज वी नो योर फैन चैनल फॉर ऑल टू सी. इट्स नॉट जस्ट नॉट चेल्सी विच वी एब्सोल्युटली लव एंड अडोर, बिकॉज कल हम करने वाले वॉच लॉन्ग में. बट here is a big derby weekend, not just the London derby of Chelsea, but the London derby of Spurs, Manchester derby, El Clasico, and others as well. By the way, Serie में काफी interesting matches and all that. Again, people try and stick to topic. एक भी mod अभी तक बोला नहीं है. मैं 4 बार यहाँ पर highlight कर रहा हूँ. तो mods big up यार. mods जो भी mods बनना चाहता है चैनल में बोलिए, because existing mods I respect you, but थोड़ा बहुत I need help from here. What I'm highlighting, these kind of comments are expected to come from mods. Where are my mods, guys? Almighty Blues mods का है भाई. 1 मिनट बिताए हो लास्ट तो समझाने का what is the flow of the stream, which we literally do every week for the last couple of years. So can we have this thing said by the mods in the chat? Come on, I'm not going to take comments which are off the track totally, or if you want to prioritize, you can always prioritize a super chat or become a member. Big up to all the members and mods and subs, absolutely. यहाँ पर खबरीशियो बोल रहे हैं Chelsea just have to manage 3 games until November, then Nkunku के आते ही Sterling, Palmer, Nkunku front 3 would be, let's see. But Ati, I would not expect, because he's been out for a couple of months. It's not so easy.
He has to
Zaid
get
बोल रहे
match. He has to
easy
get
win.
match fit as well. No?
Exactly, I agree. But कोई नहीं. Let's move on and we'll come back to this and a couple of the games. लेकिन let's be real, Nathan is here to discuss about the Manchester derby in particular. तो भाई साहब, this is going to be what Chelsea वाले Brentford में तो जो more like a mid table clash. Nathan will be like यार 10th versus 14th है, क्या ही तो ये discuss करना है. Man United, Man City भी. Man United 8th, injury FC as well like Chelsea, but Man City 2nd. Man United's first home EPL game after Sir Bobby Charlton's demise. यार, it'll be a huge atmosphere, big atmosphere Old Trafford yet again, जैसे हमने देखा था in the Champions League as well. But what do you think, Nathan? That 1-0 win over Copenhagen again tapered over the cracks, you would say. कहीं ना कहीं that is fact. But is it for real that Maguire arguably has been your best defender this season? Matlab, am I overstating there?
Well,
Centre backs at least.
well, Martinez is out till Jan. Varane was
No, but
injured
even
at
when
beginning.
Martinez was there, if you actually look at the performances
No,
this
I
season,
think. Anyway, I was going to say Varane, but I mean, you have to play all the games to be considered. So I would say, I suppose Harry Maguire, yes, but I would say performance-wise, I would say Varane actually.
वरान, सब लोग चैट में बोल दीजिए. एक सेकेंड, मैं यहाँ पर एक सेकेंड, आई एम जस्ट सीइंग इट. Mayank, क्या हाल है? Again, नहीं, we have not discussed Fabrizio. We have just started with Chelsea, Brentford. Now we are doing the Manchester derby. Then we'll come to Arsenal, Liverpool. Again, भाई थोड़ा बहुत bell icon दबा दीजिए, so that you know when you're live. Live stream में आधा बार तो मैं आपके address ही करते रहता हूँ, what we have done, what not done. So come on, man, we are bigger than that. Come on, mods, help me out here. Harry was decent since 2-3 matches. बोल रहे हैं Maguire,
Yeah.
goat. Maguire was good. But even Onana, we spoke about Sanchez. Onana, saving that penalty. I know it could be a game changer, but Onana in the Champions League generally has looked more confident compared to the Premier League. Would that be fair to say as well?
No, because both Champions League games he lost due to one of his mistakes.
Bayern with the game, I remember absolutely. But it'll be the first three back-to-back wins in all competitions if Man United happen to surprise Man City. But
You know what does my head in, Ankit, bhai? Like last two home games we have won, last two away games City have lost. We can
hmm,
pull out any stat we'd like, uh, and but at the end of the day, it is a derby. What I will say is that everyone's like making fun of us, which is fine. I don't, I'm used to it. Even when we won leagues and lost one game, we were made fun of, so that doesn't matter. What people, I don't know if people just choose to ignore it or not, which is fine. But people don't realize that we are in eighth place, yes, but we are only 7 points top from the table. Now here's the only reason I say that is not that we're going to win the league, but all these teams above us have to play each other. They just, right, they have to play each other. So eventually, somewhere down the line, common maths would have it that someone's going to lose points. We have played Arsenal, we have played Spurs, and
hmm.
now we are playing Man City. They're all above us. So at some point of time, people are going to drop points, which means if we get a win this week, it actually looks a lot better than people make it sound at the moment at eighth place. Because if 7 points divide eight teams, the league's really close, in my opinion, at the moment. It doesn't
Hmm.
sound as dire as people make it, right? Like if you're 8 points behind fourth place, probably not great. So I think I think it's going to be an interesting game. We did beat them 2-1 last year. We shut down Haaland completely. So I think that's the only way we can do it. You have to shut down Haaland. You shut down Haaland, we win the game.
So, bhai, that is what Nathan is saying. Again, we'll come to exact tactics and whatnot. A lot of things to be discussed. Again, guys, will not repeat for the nth time. I've highlighted for the nth time, and I think that's it. I'm going to be basically, taking comments which are here, people who are here actually for to actually discuss things and feel part of the fam, end to end, who are discussing, because we do it literally every week. So I don't think we need to. I'm here to sit and just answer you all that. Big up to everyone who tunes in. I know it sounds rude, but I think this is the first stream where at least 10 times Nathan I have said it. I don't know why the chat is doing this, but कोई नहीं. हम लोग तो भाई घंटा जानते हैं. Having said that, यहाँ पर if you're talking about this match in particular, मतलब Man United beat Man City in Jan, if I remember it, 2-1, right? And then City knocked you out of the FA Cup final, obviously.
So we played three times, and it culminated in the FA Cup final. Man City won two matches, we won one.
Hmm.
So we each won our home match, and the neutral venue Man City won. So
Yeah.
technically, the home matches is where we normally win. Yes, I am. Yes.
ओके एंड गाइज यहाँ पर एक क्विक शॉर्ट आउट दे रहा हूँ इवन फॉर स्पोर्ट्स नेथन फॉर द एंड टाइम आई एम टेलिंग प्लीज एक सेकंड लगता है यार डिस्क्रिप्शन में पहला लाइन है check it out. Our brother covers all kind of content again like us. He follows a certain club and loves this club like we do our clubs, but at the end of the day we cover all content like sports nathan and almighty blues as well. Again, Lord Puni Superstar, like I said, we will do that. We will always do that, and you know that we will do. But thoda sa, please, can anyone please help me out here? I'm having a difficult time today in the live stream. Hardly there are people talking on the chat who are talking about the मैचेस दैट वी आर डिस्कसिंग. तो अगर आपको डिस्कस ही नहीं करना उसके बारे में तो भाई फेयर इनफ. लेकिन अगर मैं लेता नहीं कमेंट, डोंट टेल दैट आई एम नॉट टेकिंग अ कमेंट, बिकॉज आप लोग टॉपिक के हिसाब से बात करिए फिर हम लेंगे ना. आई एम नॉट हियर टू काइंड ऑफ गिव अ डिस्क्लेमर. आई नीड टू कीप इग्नोरिंग, देन आप लोग बोलोगे इग्नोर कर रहे हो, इसलिए मैं आंसर कर रहा हूँ वो चीज, ठीक है. लेकिन अगेन लेट्स कम बैक टू द कॉन्टेक्स्ट. जहां पर देखो यार, सिंस 2022-23 सीजन स्टार्ट, only two teams have prevented Manchester United to score at home. Question for everyone, trivia. Which two teams are those? One, to I think pretty much sure you all know that. Manchester United at home in the league, only two teams have prevented them to score at Old Trafford since the beginning of 2022-23 season. The Man City definitely have a task on their hands to, अगर उनको clean sheet लेना है तो which two teams are them? I think एक clue तो है कि काफी recent था. बिग अप टू डेरेन यार, क्या हाल है? नो वन. एक तो काफी रिसेंट था. इट वाज एन एंडरसन गोल ब्रो. क्रिस्टल पैलेस. करेक्ट. That was that, and the second one was Southampton, I think, from
Oh,
last
you
season,
know
if I
why I
remember.
never thought about that? Because 3 days before that, we knocked them out of the FA Cup. God, I
Correct,
totally
correct.
forgot about that.
But anyway, having said that, I know Man City have technically got a couple of victories, but not so convincing. Onana, Maguire, Dalo, McTominay have been the heroes in recent games. But Manchester, that is Manchester United, sorry. Man City, meanwhile, are coming off a victory over Young Boys. Haaland finally scored in Europe. और कहीं ना कहीं दैट कुड बी लाइक, चलो भाई, 5-6 गेम से हालैंड स्कोर नहीं किया था यूरोप में, फाइनली स्कोर्स. Akanji, who scored as well, but is suspended. And I know they beat Brighton last time around Man City, लेकिन Man City का Premier League form इतना great नहीं, if you ask me. So they are without a clean sheet. So something's got to give, यार, Nathan. They are without a clean sheet in 6 in all competitions. That City we are talking about, and Manchester United always keep scoring at home. So, मतलब, in terms of the lineup, what is your lineup? You tell me, and everyone in the chat as well.
So in goal, we'll start Onana because we just will. And we have Dalo at right back, Reguilon at left back, Maguire and Varane, Casemiro, Bruno.
Yeah, Casemiro is back, but is he back to be fit enough to start? And that's Casemiro
Yeah,
for me,
yeah,
right?
he was suspended, na? Was suspended, and then he had like a little knock, and I
Little
think he
knocked
should
out.
be.
So
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
He got rested anyway for the Champions League game. Casemiro, Amrabat, Bruno, Oilun, Rashford, and I mean, I want Facundo Pellistri to play, but I'm not going to waste my guess on that. It's going to be Anthony. So
But what about this Samarth? Basically, we'll come to Rashford and the question
Amath,
of Messi's growth as
Dallo
well.
has to be overplayed. We don't have any right backs or left backs.
But
It's
Aaron
by
Wan-Bissaka,
default he'll be
I
overplayed.
hear that even he's training.
He's training, but he's just started training, I think, sometime last week on grass, as they like to call it in England.
But don't you
I
think for
don't know,
this
it's
particular
weird, but
game you would like
no, no,
to
no, 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 no. We,
no?
we can't afford any more fullback injuries, Ankit. I would play Dallo. After this week, we are going to have to reassess who's fit and all. I would see.
Hmm.
I don't like a lot of things Eric Ten Hag has done this season, and I'm sure I might get people in the chat might disagree with me. There were things he has specifically done this season which I find very unacceptable. I'll give you just one example. Both our left backs got injured, and
Hmm.
Alvaro Fernandez was sent on loan, and we got Sergio Reguilon on loan for 6 months.
Hmm.
I don't like that because Alvaro Fernandez actually played well preseason. I have maintained to this day, that the kids played better than the first team in preseason because the kids play with each other week in and week out in the under 23s, in the under 21s, in European competitions in the youth league. And if you go back and see, you will see for yourself that the kids played better football. Keep in mind what I'm saying when I say played better. Play better football. Right now we are playing crap.
Hmm.
The kids played better, and Alvaro Fernandez got the first assist in the first friendly of our season. He started game one of preseason. I do not like this. Do not extend youth player contracts if you're not going to give them a chance. Do
Hmm.
not. That's very insulting.
But
Sell
but
them.
having said that about youth players, Garnacho का मतलब, where are you? I know it's a very sensitive topic, but the fact is, I think Onana has cleared it. There was nothing that
It's not a
Garnacho did.
sensitive topic to me as long as Andre Onana is fine with it.
Correct.
I because context is everything. There are pictures of Harry
Let's
Maguire
explain the
and
concept to the chat. You
no,
please go ahead and explain.
basically, see, I don't follow anyone on Instagram because I don't do player FC. I don't follow the hype. I only read the news about these things. I have no interest in players' lives. I only care about football. So I want to preface that because I know a lot of people follow football, and that's fine. I just don't do it. a picture of I believe it was Maguire and Onana, and there were like two gorilla emojis. I don't know what was there.
Correct.
Some words said. Some words were said. I don't
No,
know
just
what was
two
said. I don't
gorilla
remember.
emojis basically.
Now it's racial undertones because Onana is obviously a black player, but Harry Maguire is in the picture too, so that does not add up.
Hmm.
Two gorilla emojis because those two stood out in the game in one picture, celebrating an important win. FA has nothing better to do than giving 10-month bans for little bets and
Hmm.
you know doesn't call up the referees for the shit performances week in week out on random games, or random, not derby games, random games, shit after shit after shit performance. They say nothing to the referees. Referees cannot be questioned. You come up to them, you ask them what the hell they're doing, yellow card. But these people take a picture. The person in the picture has no problem with it, and he's going to get a ban. How does that work? Like, if I was Garnacho, I would actually sue the Premier League. I would actually go after the Premier League because I'd be like, context is important. You can't just say someone is being a racist.
Hmm.
That is stupid. Totally stupid. Did you not see the
Hmm.
part where Garnacho came and jumped on him to celebrate the penalty save? So the guy who jumped on him to hug him after the penalty save, he's a racist to that guy. I mean, like
Correct. नहीं नहीं
some
बिल्कुल
some
मतलब see
sense.
the bottom line and the fact that he's cleared it that basically as in people will not decide for me that who when I get offended because I know it came from a good side is what Onana has clearly already posted, so I don't think there's anything about it. United should win this. Come on, Maguire and Onana redemption and they are in good form. Putin bol rahe, Messi is good bol rahe. We're taking a few comments as well, guys. Rashford, despite his poor performance, will start over Garnacho, and that's the biased decisions that ETH takes, which will eventually cost United this game. आई गेट यू मैसेज गुड बिल्कुल मैं सुनने में आ रहा है लेकिन अगेन मतलब आई एम स्टिल नॉट 100% convinced of Garnacho being there for 90 minutes plus the fact that Rashford as much as he's been terrible compared to last season is Rashford also not your set piece के लिए भाई
No,
threat
no,
no
we have now. Thank God, now we have Ericsson, Bruno, we have Mount. If Mount
no but
plays, I'm like,
Eriksen
please.
let's
I don't
talk
want
about
to see
Eriksen.
Rashford. Don't see Rashford take a free kick again for the rest of my
No
life.
but is Eriksen
I,
starting? I don't think so.
no, for this game, no, he won't start. We need legs in the midfield. It'll be Bruno, maybe Mount. If Mount starts, Mount and Bruno can take a free kick. McTominay can take a free kick. Apparently, I didn't know that one.
Hmm.
After all these years, apparently he can
McTominay
do.
bro.
I didn't know that one personally.
या भाई सब लोग बोल रहे हैं
Deep
रैशफोर्ड ही
Das,
रहेगा.
Deep Das, I agree with you. Like I said, if Ankit Bhai comes here one day and says we're only going to talk about United, I can give you all the list of the things I don't like ETH does. I speak with no fear because at the end of the day, I realize I have nothing to gain. When my team loses, I only get depressed. I don't enjoy it. So if ETH was right, I would celebrate. But when ETH is wrong, you gotta call it out. Simple as that.
या
That's how
तो
I
गाइज
at least
आप लोग
function.
भी बोलिए. आई एम नॉट सीइंग एनी 11s कमिंग इन द चैट भाई कमेंट्स में मुझे दिख नहीं रहे. चेल्सी के गेम में भी यार पीपल हु आर हियर नॉट श्योर इफ वी सॉ दैट बट आई वांट टू सी 11 व्हाट 11 वुड यू लाइक टू सी यूनाइटेड प्ले और व्हाट 11 शुड यूनाइटेड प्ले अगेंस्ट सिटी और सिटी फैंस भी है यार एनी सिटी फैंस talking about City, yes, like I said, Akanji is not available. तो Stones probably comes in at the back. He's fit. याद रखिए केडी भी अभी तक नहीं है. I think Doku, the fact that it's United at home, yes, लेकिन again क्योंकि United defensively right now had injury issues, I can see that Doku is again going to possibly play because he's very direct. Or मतलब would you expect Doku not to play for this big game and maybe Foden, Silva, or Grealish, two of the three takes the wing.
It would be, I think it would be very wise of them to use pace as the difference maker. Bernardo Silva and Riyad Mahrez used to do, they're very agile, nifty dribblers, which can be very good depending on who you're defending. I think pace is going to be the difference maker because after all, we will still have Harry Maguire in defense. So that's going to have its own set of problems on the counter. In fact, in the opening minutes of the Copenhagen game, he got turned over, I think, somewhere around the halfway line. They got a shot opportunity straight away. I will say this to answer your question about Copenhagen and the United match. We finished 1-0, but Bruno created three chances, two one-on-ones Garnacho and Rashford had, and they missed. Garnacho got squared off by Bruno and hit it straight to the goalkeeper as well. So we could have easily won that game 4-0. Doesn't matter because we did not, but there was definitely two one-on-one chances that were created by Bruno. If we have our shooting boots on, and we will get those opportunities even against Man City. And I think it's a matter of just putting it away, really.
Yeah,
Regular.
exactly. Man United lost only 2 games with Varane and Maguire and back in last 2 years. Wow, how many have they played together? But that's a big
Probably,
question.
probably not a lot because even last year there was a lot of turnover between who gets to start because of injuries. Like the odd one had an injury, a suspension. You had to bring one player in, one player out. But yeah,
Yeah, agree with Putin here, and Lord
it
Putin
was
took a
tried
chance
that.
that
Yeah, it
anyone
was.
they
But
put
can I
forward
say,
doesn't matter.
Pullen, he
They're
didn't get
World Cup.
enough. He didn't get enough games as a starter. How many games has Anthony got as game as a starter, and how many games
Hmm.
has Facundo Pellistri got? If we go by that
Yeah, but
logic, no, there's a
he
bunch of
looked.
players in
No,
that
I
team
must
that have
say,
not earned their position.
I get it. I get it. As a youngster, you need to kind of be back, but that's the reality. This is a results-driven business.
Oh
But
no,
more or
no,
less,
no. Sorry. Let me clarify myself. That's not what I meant. I meant based on not doing well once you get a position. There's a bunch of players in that team that get picked every week that don't play well,
there's a
and they
difference
get a
between
position.
Rashford and Anthony and Garnacho getting minutes, and that's unfair, is what you're saying, because they
Yeah.
are getting
They
no
all
matter
they
what
all
they
have
do.
the same amount. They all have the same amount of goals are there of. They all have one goal in the league.
Hmm.
The front three have one goal in the league combined.
Okay, let me put
There
it
is
this way: as a neutral, from a neutral's perspective, my perspective clearly is that Garnacho looked out of place as a starter. I'll be very honest there, upfront. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of youngsters basically over the years, and we've seen football. You guys have seen football. Nathan, you've seen football. A lot of youngsters at times are much better off coming on the bench. He looks like that kind
yeah.
of a player to me. Again, I
I
know
I think
maybe
I think he has to get his bearings. I think at some point of time there will be a crossover where you have to start giving him 30, 50, 60 minutes. You can't just go, yeah, we're going to put you in 15 minutes because that's where you're good at. You have to find out who's going to be your future starter, especially with youngsters, and who's not. As a team back in the day about 10 years ago, we had 30-year-olds coming on and doing 10-minute cameos because that was their station in our team back then. And we had 22-year-olds playing starter because they rose to the occasion and unseated them eventually. In order to find out if Garnacho is that good, you have to actually give him enough games because every time Anthony pulls out a stinker, he starts. What is Anthony's excuse? Okay, you can say he does. You can't use youth as an excuse because the person sitting behind Anthony is not even 20 years old. You can give the person who's number two on the right wing that excuse, but he doesn't get an opportunity to play any games. I have a simple question. I asked Anshuman on his channel. He's like, why doesn't he start Pelestri? And Anshuman said, because nobody cares about his performances under Uruguay. I was like, okay, cool, fair enough. That's your opinion. But can you actually tell me that Anthony has performed any better and Pelestri is going to perform completely worse with no returns at all in this season? Can you tell me Bruno Fernandes is a better right winger than Facundo Pellistri just because he's played
no
for
way.
Uruguay? No one can. So that's what I'm saying. It depends on your perspective. If we are talking about earned positions and who should start and who shouldn't, there's a bunch of players that are 28, 26, 25, and they have not earned their positions this season and they start every game. So all I'm saying is play Garnacho. I would love to see Garnacho, Pellistri, and Hoyland play. I hope we get some crap team in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup so I get to see it because I know I'm not going to get to see it otherwise. Or Martial, Hoyland, Anthony, or Pellistri. I want to see a different front three. Hoyland has to obviously stay the same because he's not, as it is, he's not played all the games, so he needs to play more. So, but I want the wingers to change. I want the wingers to change, and I don't want Bruno and Mount practicing their right wing attributes. I want actual players in the position. I would love to see what that
Exactly.
is. And then I would happily say, you know what, I was wrong. But until then, I will keep blowing the horn of Pelestri and Garnacho until I get to see extended proof that I am not correct at this point in time. That's how I
Okay.
feel.
Okay, guys, यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा we are having a great discussion यहाँ पर over the Manchester derby. Again, I have put in a few comments अभी. People who watch later may not understand, लेकिन live watchers right now may understand a few of them. Great to see you all here. मैंने कुछ कुछ back to back comments डाले in the comment section. Uh, this is specifically from moderators जो होते हैं ना, मतलब I know maybe my expectations are a bit too much, but the fact is the whole idea about me, out of close to 11,000, which hopefully we get to 11,000 very quickly, and Nathan gets to the next landmark as well, come on, but out of them, if I'm having only about 20 moderators in the entire channel, and if out of them अगर 5 लोग हैं, मेरी expectation है वो, तो मैं जो चीज कर रहा हूँ साथ साथ में, if I am doing a live, I do not, it's impossible humanly for me to manage those things as well, and that is where you guys, my brothers, come in. तो भाई moderators, what things I have just put in a few comments, आप गौर से देखिए, समझिए context को, and try and tell the other people in the chat things that I've tried to say in the last couple of minutes. So that's the reason. और वो भी ये वाला जो comment है आप ये भी देखिए, these are things that we need that. Again, Rahul Sa, I have cleared you as well. Crazy football fan, I've cleared you as well. Again, moderators, please step in. Plea from my end. Thank you in once. Deepdar बोल रहे Onana, Reguilon, Maguire, Varane, Dalo, Amrabat, Mount, Bruno, Hoyland, Rashford, Anthony. Same thing, I believe. I know Pelestri ideally, but
No, he
realistic.
chooses Mount and Amrabat. I chose Amrabat and Casemiro, but it
अच्छा,
depends on
ठीक है.
if Casemiro's fit, obviously. But yeah, I think it's the exact same lineup. Yeah, exact same lineup. I
Fine.
agree with the Anthony part too. He will be bullied, but you know what, Deep Das? Honestly, that can be done behind the scenes. Improve your physical training, weight lift more. Eventually, these, like I said about Reece James, these people are still growing. Their muscles, their tendons, their ligaments are still growing. It takes a little bit longer for them because they're much younger. They will build into that body, and then you will see. Not everyone looks like Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund has great genes. He is a Scandinavian. The Scandinavians have normally, they have very good genes, physically speaking. So yes, you're right. But eventually, you got to have to play him before Anthony gets injured, and then you're forced to. And then he's not used to get any game time, and he just doesn't play well. But yeah.
भाई देखो ना, लाफ्टर क्लब मैं क्या ही बोलूं यार, आप शुरू में आते नहीं हो, फिर स्पैम करते हो. देयर इज नो वन इन द मॉड सेइंग दैट डू नॉट स्पैम. आई एम रियली राइट नाउ गेटिंग टू फ्रस्ट्रेशन लेवल्स, नेथन यार. थैंक गुडनेस दैट नेथन इज हियर. आई वुड हैव रैंटेड राइट नाउ. आई लव द फैम यार, बट कम ऑन यार, मैं यहाँ पर रिपीट करने में रोबोट नहीं हूँ. लाफ्टर क्लब, थैंक्स अ लॉट. आई नो यू आर अ सपोर्टर ऑफ द चैनल, लेकिन मैं कम से कम 20 बार बोला हूँ इस चैनल, इस स्ट्रीम में, कम से कम 20 बार, इफ नॉट मोर. लेट्स स्टिक टू द टॉपिक. वी आर कमिंग टू एवरी गेम. ठीक है, लेट्स स्टिक टू द टॉपिक. आई डोंट नो कौन से भाषा में बोलूं. लेट्स स्टिक टू टॉपिक. हर एक टॉपिक में हमने कवर करना है. एंड द फैक्ट दैट एल क्लासिको का मैंने अलग से वीडियो किया है, कल सुबह आने वाला है. आपको देखना तो देखिए यार. मैं 20-25 बार बोल दिया. आई एम गेटिंग फ्रस्ट्रेटेड नेथन मैन. I swear I'm just getting frustrated. Mods, I need to change mods, man. The simple as that. If people find it rude, it's rude. Whatever it is. I know आप लोग बहुत एहसान करते हो. आप आकर 11,000 में से 20 लोग आकर देखते हैं. Great to see that. But I'm really frustrated right now. Thanks Harsha for giving it there. मैं literally 15 times, man, 15 or 25 times I have done this, man. I have highlighted this. भाई पढ़ना आता है ना आप लोग को. I know, man, I'm going under the belt. Please. It's a live stream. We are doing it. Check the description, check the title, check basically what we have said in the beginning, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes of the stream. We can't keep repeating the same things, right? I'm just tired, man. I'm so tired. Really. I don't know even if I should celebrate Nathan if we get, when we get to 11K also. Because reaching 11K, but still I'm sitting here and moderating my own stream, man. From 59 minutes, 29 minutes, I've done that. And people, if you want to laugh at me, laugh at me. I know you'll make mockery of it. To hell with it. I don't fucking care. I'm being very honest here. And very rude, I know. I know half the people will unsubscribe. To hell with you all if you want to unsubscribe. People who know that we do content for the sake of content, and people who know we do content for the sake of love for the game. There's a difference. Sorry, Nathan, man. I was really pissed off. I would have got even more good if not for Nathan being there.
It's completely fine if that's how you feel. You should be very
No,
clear
man,
with
I'm for about
watching
59 minutes, 29 minutes. I've been moderating my chat. I want to have a nice discussion, and you guys involved in discussion. Nathan is having some brilliant thoughts here. We are talking tactics here. We are discussing game end to end. We are discussing players. We are discussing news. We are discussing by tactics, everything. बट डजंट मैटर, आपको चाहिए बस एल क्लासिको, बार्सा रियल मैड्रिड, बस वो भी करने वाले हैं, उसके अगेंस्ट नहीं हूं मैं. Grow up, guys. Indian community, grow up. There's more than just El Clasico. I love the El Clasico. Nothing against Barca, Real Madrid. But by football fans, there's more to football. Seriously, man. आप लोग को आना तो आइए, नहीं आना तो नहीं आइए यार. I am discussing each and every game here with Nathan, with you all in the chat. 1 घंटे से हमने 2 गेम बहुत डिटेल में डिस्कस किया है. But you guys are only interested in one thing. But that's it. Big up to everyone who's come in late. Sorry, I'm not be able to give every shout out to every member, but you all know I love you all who are interested and who are here for the sake of it. I don't know what to say. Again, यहाँ पर coming back to the game quickly, let's do a score prediction. यहाँ पर remember it is a derby. It is on Sunday night. Of course, Man City will go top of the table अगर Tottenham fail to beat Crystal Palace tonight. But Nathan, pretty much sure you will take a draw right now, given a choice or not.
I actually, oh God, I actually think we're going to win. So
Wow.
I
And you know what?
see,
People might laugh, but the
Ankit
fact
bhai,
is you have beaten them
it
last time in
doesn't
the
make
league.
sense. No, the thing is, it doesn't make sense taking a draw, because a draw actually, a lot of people say, yeah, we'll bite your hand off if we take a draw. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, where are we going this season? Where are we going this season? Like, what is the what? Okay, we don't get the owners we want, fine. So what? The whole season goes down the tubes. Should we not just show up to Turkey and Denmark now? Should we just like all sit home? Like, there has to be still some direction. I don't like this. Everyone's getting deflated because we didn't get our owners. I get it. I'm not happy either. I don't want Jim Ratcliffe as our owner. I don't want the club in more in debt. We can sit and talk about this separately. We won't do it on this game week discussion, like I told you. All I'm saying is, if I back the team to win based on evidence. 2 away games Man City have lost, 2 home games we have won. I think it's good enough evidence to show that we have also beaten them last year at home. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough to do a job. Will we do a job? Who the hell knows? But I'm going to pick my team to win this week. Sorry, in 2 days, less than 2 days actually now. 9 o'clock kickoff.
1-0 यूनाइटेड दीप बोल रहे हैं. मैसेज के ऊपर 3-1 टू सिटी. 3-1 तो भाई सिटी हर एक गेम ऑलमोस्ट कर रही है. हाई स्कोरिंग गेम आई गेस. 5-2 और 4-2 टू सिटी. वाओ, that'll be a good game to watch as a neutral, to be honest. But कहीं ना कहीं I would, like I said, I might as well take a 3-all. But anyway, 2-1 City, but would love
I'm
to get proven
going
wrong.
2-1 United. And believe me, if we perform badly, this will be literally the second. It's like Ankit Bhai says it the best way. We don't make content to make content. This will literally be my second match reaction video ever. And I've been doing YouTube for 2 years. I just finished 2 years in September. This will be my second ever reaction if we do not play well. Because I don't really give a shit who's on the opposite side of the pitch. If we can't show up for this derby or on the current occasion, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter tactics. It doesn't matter if you can't play for the batch. You'll hear from me. Let's just put it that way. 2-1 to United is the call. 2-1 to United.
McTominay with the winner again. United
Bro,
wins.
believe me,
Benefits
believe me,
Spurs.
it will be poetic. It will be poetic. Just to end off this, because I do want to go to the next things and discuss with Ankit as well. Fergie time, academy graduate winner scored the goal when Lady Kathy Ferguson passed away. Yeah. Dallo with a screamer outside the box, and they showed Bobby Charlton scoring after the match. They had videos on Twitter of Bobby Charlton scoring goals from outside the box.
Yeah.
And Diego Dallo was part of our youth academy. We bought him super young. People won't know that he wasn't through the youth system, but we pushed him into the under 21s, I believe. We bought him really young, so he knows what it is. He's Portuguese, but he knows what it is to play in this derby. Very few of our players actually know what it means. I'll be very honest with you. Very few players know what that means. 2-1 to United.
Yep. I just answered this question from Laughter Club. Finally, Laughter Club putting a question which is in context, so I had to highlight it. Again, you can always super chat if need be. If you need other out of context questions to be taken, guys. What is United making wrong in the season? By last season, this season, whatever. The fact is the signings you have made, United, you are not having a complete 11 available for them to play week in, week out. So until that is done, I think it is still early days. Yes, it's a results driven business, which is United ka backfire hoga, but the reality is that until you have Mason Mount and Amrabat and Regulon and Varan, and or Licha सब available, and then you perform similarly shit, then I can argue, because let's be real, जैसे चेल्सी का यहाँ पर रिजल्ट्स नहीं आ रहे, परफॉर्मेंसेस आ रहे, यूनाइटेड का परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आ रहे, रिजल्ट्स आ रहे, तो कहीं ना कहीं दोनों का something is missing, and that is what we have discussed in these two games that we discussed in 1 hour. Wow, we took 1 hour for these two games. Wow. United 3-1, let's go is what one of Buzz is saying. Let's see, मतलब I won't mind that City, to be honest, nothing against City, लेकिन वो ये थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्टिंग रहता है, लेकिन चेल्सी का तो सच में बोलो तो यूनाइटेड आर द रियल competitors this time in terms of the top 6 finish, you can say. But yes, Mount, I think in this game, considering that it's a derby game, I think such games, अगर आप Mount को साइन किया, आप उसको शुरू नहीं करोगे तो भाई what is the point of giving him number 7?
If
I know
Casemiro cannot play the game, he's starting. That's how I look at it as. If Casemiro can't play the game, he's starting. Because we need
I
legs in the
really
midfield and we need to be defensive. We need to be
yeah, the thing is,
defensive.
क्योंकि McTominay has done so well ना, तो I hear you, जो what you're
Yeah.
saying, but Eriksen already making noises यार, मतलब is he wanting out, मतलब what do you think?
You know, at the final game of preseason, he was interviewed and he literally said, "Listen, we have played way too many games. We have traveled east to west coast. For anyone who doesn't know, to travel from LA to New York, you pass 3 time zones, even though it's the same country. Fun fact. It wears on your body, and they had very short turnarounds between all the games in America. And even then, he said, "The boys are tired. These flights are long, but we are glad to just go back home." I personally understand Ericsson's grief, but at the same time, given his medical condition, I am unwilling to comment on it, because I personally am because he is my player now. I am scared that something can happen to him. Like Daily Blind plays at Girona, but he gambles with his life every week. Let's be real. Let's be honest. I don't want anything to happen. Love Daily Blind, played for us as well. One of the best utility players I've seen. Played in a shit team though, not his fault. Same thing for Ericsson. I understand his frustration, but at the same time, I can't comment. I can't say, I can't really, if he feels we are playing too many games, if he feels he's not being played enough, it's all a risk for him in particular. So I have no comments on that. I can understand how he is frustrated, though, of course. Look at that cross he
भाई
gave. I mean, seriously, like look at the cross was excellent.
I
So
just noticed something. So it's not just City without a clean sheet in 6 in all competitions. United have not got an EPL clean
yeah,
sheet at home this season.
yeah, we
Wow.
have not.
Plus United score. भाई this is मतलब again, I know sometimes जब इतना build up करते हैं ना for a high scoring encounter, it turns out to be a nil-nil. लेकिन वो भी होता है. But I think is, you know what, this time I think I can see it being high scoring, but I see it as a draw, to be honest. I see it as a draw. ये वाला I think I can see it as a draw. The जितना मैं देख रहा हूँ stats and the teams etc, the availability and all that at Old Trafford, generally United में I would have gone for a nicking the victory considering last season भी क्या है, लेकिन I think अभी I can see it a draw for sure, but score draw for sure. Let's see how it goes. लेकिन हाँ, another derby guys, London derby, this Crystal Palace Tottenham आज रात को. By the way, members in the chat, भाई big up to you all. याद रखिए as always, nothing changes. सैटरडे नून को आएगा आपके पास मैसेज इन द कम्युनिटी पेज ऑफ मेंबर्स. वहां पर मैंने अपडेट करना है और आप लोग को एक सेट ऑफ प्रेडिक्शंस देना है फॉर द prediction league, which is on for a prize. Yes, for new members and would be members as well, that's definitely on. लेकिन meanwhile London derby है आज रात को. It is Crystal Palace versus Spurs. Spurs obviously doing in their Poch, Ange ball 4-3-1. Crystal Palace Hodgson ball. Having said that, Crystal Palace got a beating Newcastle के साथ. Spurs are balling. Simple as that. कहीं ना कहीं Crystal Palace are also competing with the mid-table clubs like one of us, Detan, you know exactly what I mean. But कहीं ना कहीं, would you say that मतलब Spurs this time are actually looking the real deal, क्योंकि even their fixtures are not too, as in it's pretty kind in fact, right? नहीं, they've scored 20 goals in 9, only 8 conceded. ठीक है. पैलेस बाय द वे बहुत ही एवरेज लगी है. 1-3 drawn 3 lost 3 coming off a 4-0 loss, like I said, were unbeaten in 3 before with 3 clean sheets, by the way, that includes one at Old Trafford. But that game against Newcastle, or if I'm not wrong, they have Eze and Olise out still,
Yeah,
with Dean Henderson out.
yeah.
So, matlab, this is going only one way, right? Even despite it being at Sellers
I
Park
mean,
Friday
listen,
night.
I know you don't want to hear this, Ankit bhai, but Spurs are going to thrash Crystal Palace.
I don't hear
Yeah.
it exactly.
I can't say it any other nicer way than that. They're going to get a thrashing.
Tottenham has had a huge turnaround this year, so much fluid and headstrong. But what really has changed? The fact that Kane is not there, you think has changed, or the fact here that
This
Liverpool
is going
came?
to be part of my very negative Manchester United rant if we lose again badly to City. But I'll give a little preview here. This is exactly what I was going to say. Ange
Hmm.
Postecoglou has changed the majority of players that finished eighth last season to be
Hmm.
top of the league in within 9 games of the season. Now, people will say it's only 9 games. Yes, but at the beginning of game week 1, no one would have guessed they would be top of the table at game week 9.
Hmm.
How has he molded a bunch of players that weren't good enough to play European football in 3 months, topped the league after 9 games, gave a good go to Arsenal, beat us handily, played really well in almost all the games except Sheffield United. They had to dig that one out. That was absolutely a terrible game to watch. The Luton game was only bad after Basuma got sent off because Basuma thought he was practicing his Superman for the Halloween party they're about to have. He didn't unfortunately he didn't go flying up, he went flying downwards and got a red card. So they are every game except Sheffield
Acha,
United.
Bissouma is back, by the way. Yes, yes, that's correct.
Sorry,
Wow.
who's back?
Bissouma is back, right, for this game.
Yeah, Bissouma is back. So they are gonna go flying. I'm like looking at the injured players for them. They have Olise, Schlupp, Tompkins, Eze, and Dean Henderson. If anyone cares about that,
Yep.
I don't. They are missing. Tompkins plays a lot of games. Schlupp plays a lot of games for them. Olise and Eze are basically nailed on starters. On the other side, we have Perisic. No one can, and no, he's old. Hugo Lloris, no one cares anymore. Alfie Whiteman, who I think is a youth academy player. Mano Solomon, who wanted to see more of.
Hmm.
Bentancur, who already was out for a while, so we know that. And Sassignon, who's extremely inconsistent ever since he got promoted with Fulham and being Young Player of the Year in Championship. He's been extremely inconsistent since coming up with Fulham, so I don't think he's a miss. I think if anyone's a miss, it's Bentancur, and they've been doing perfectly fine without him. So they are just going to walk all over Crystal Palace. I think that's it really. I don't have anything else to add to that. I'm going to say 3-0. 3-0. Richarlison's the only thing which didn't change.
Vicario
No,
has been
that's
a
not
ball as
true.
well,
That's not
yes.
true, actually, General Bumrah. Richarlison has more goals in the first 9 games of the Premier League than he did have last season.
Yeah, I think
That's
and
also
he's
not
had
true.
an impact. He's had an impact as in this time. ऐसा नहीं कि impact नहीं
Mostly on
किया
his body with all the outrageous tattoos he has. But in general,
है.
but yeah.
Laughter Club, do you think Spurs signing some backup for their players? I think कहीं ना कहीं I think if they sign like I think someone said in the chat, Messi's goat ने बोला था, and I think Joshua Das ने बोला था that basically if they sign, you never know. मतलब कलयुग आ गया, घोर कलयुग आ गया. That's what I would have been saying for a good time as well. Perisic भी नहीं दिखा इतना, वो तो I think long term injury है. He has an ACL. Remember that.
Yeah.
Madison is the player of the season for Spurs right now. मतलब सॉन अगेन एफपीएल की बात करेंगे, उस पर थोड़ा सा हमें चर्चा करना है फॉर श्योर. Despite all the clubs spending heavily this summer, Spurs have done the most clever business of all, and the very fact that they got Madison is evident. भाई चेल्सी ने ट्राई भी नहीं किया, मतलब we needed that,
Even
मतलब
we didn't try.
Madison.
Even we didn't try. We
No,
could have
but
bought him instead of Mount.
in Poch's system, Madison
Yeah.
was needed. Basically, we are trying to have a Carney slash ye slash wo, even Gallagher play that role. By Madison would have been the player. Simple as that. As much as I like Gallagher and Carney, that's the reality. But again, let's move on, guys. Let's have a quick prediction.
Wait,
यहाँ पर Crystal Palace
you
first.
didn't, sorry, did you give the prediction of the game? I didn't hear. Did
No,
you
I'm
give the
asking for
score?
predictions
Uh,
now.
3-0.
So let's go 3-0 away victory बोल रहे हैं Spurs के लिए 3-0. You know what?
Son Madison, and
I think it's going to be something like
defender will score. Defender will score, I think.
nahin, I can see that basically considering they're playing like 5 games, 5 days में 2 games,
Yeah.
which is what they have not done this season. Let's put it that way. I think they might concede a goal and they might not be 100%. Lekin I understand and I agree.
By the way, and just trolling Ankit, and just
2-1.
trolling. You know what he said? Destiny Odogi might be fit for this game. So everyone for the FPL, just letting you know, he said this, and he was like, 5 days is a short turnaround. I'm like, you're joking, right? Like you're really joking, right? Like we are playing three days every day. 3 days we're playing. 5 days is a short turnaround from Friday to Monday. I was like, this is very interesting tactics. I found it very interesting. I was like, okay, wow, he thinks this is a short turnaround. I can't wait for when they're in Europe. He's going to have heart attacks. He's going to be a
Exactly.
real problem.
Again, guys, I can see Arsenal fans in the house as well. To be honest, Arsenal वाले detail में discuss नहीं करेंगे. You can make a quick prediction. Again, you can become a member and make predictions because you stand chance for a prize as well at the end of the season. यहाँ पर guys,
Arsenal are playing who? Sheffield?
Sheffield United, man, come on, मतलब come on,
9-0.
मतलब that's a walkover.
Take it. It's the only nice. I'll be nice to Arsenal fans for once in a while. 9-0. Come on. There we go.
9-0.
Bash them.
That's something after that Champions League win as well. Lekin Liverpool also have an easy game, right? FPL managers by Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa have easy games. I know Forest is not that easy, but I think Liverpool at home, despite being having a midweek Europa League game, Thursday night game, not midweek technically, जहाँ पर ग्रैवेनबर्ग बॉल्ड भाई थोड़ा बहुत क्रेडिट हमें भी दीजिए. जब लोग ग्रैवेनबर्ग का नाम नहीं जानते थे 2.5 साल पहले मैं स्काउट करके भाई इतना सारा किया था. यू कैन चेक आवर चैनल, go to Euros का playlist, check out the amount of times that I have tactically explain what Gravenberg does, why Gravenberg is a good player, etc. Bhai, Liverpool fans can thank me later. You can see that later. Absolutely. Lekin Arsenal, Sheffield United, Arsenal are winning. Liverpool, Forest, Liverpool are winning as much as Forest will challenge them. Villa, Luton, I think Villa winning. West Ham, Everton, as much as Everton will be docked points, etc. I still see West Ham winning for whatever reason. But Wolves, Newcastle can be an interesting game in my opinion, considering Newcastle even in midweek they kind of missed the bus. Dortmund, all of all teams here, got second now in that group. Remember Champions League में, और Wolves are one of those teams which are solid. तो ये वाला इंटरेस्टिंग रह सकता है. Wolves Newcastle I think can be a banana skin. मतलब कभी ना कभी तो बनाना स्किन आएगा ना न्यूकासल का. तो आई एम कॉलिंग वुल्व्स न्यूकासल ड्रॉपिंग पॉइंट्स. आई एम कॉलिंग अ 1-1 देयर. बाकी सब the home side winning it, Villa, Liverpool and Arsenal. Anything different quickly? Nathan, not going to go get into details these games.
I just think there's a possibility that Wolves might. Yeah, I agree with you. Wolves might get something out of Newcastle because of the actual slow turnarounds, which Ange should probably watch teams that have slow turnarounds. Yeah, we have a lot of Joshua is correct. Wolves is very tricky. Pedro Neto is in great form.
Yep.
That will be a
And
fun
the
game to
Korean
watch.
guy.
I think personally, be a fun game to
A
watch.
lot of us are going 1-1 लिखते हैं. Joshua obviously wants Newcastle to win, but seriously Joshua, कहीं ना कहीं अगर मिलान और न्यूकासल अलाउ करे डॉर्टमुंड को ले जाना ना in that group second place, I don't know what to say. Both of us have missed the bus. But having said that, obviously other leagues के बारे में हम डिटेल में डिस्कस नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि कल सुबह एक वीडियो आ रही है गाइस. लेकिन एल क्लासिको आई नो लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर वेटिंग. वो लोग जो वेट करे थे वो चले गए आपका आफ्टर माय मिनी रैंट. बट बाकी गेम्स भी है गाइस. यस, एल क्लासिको इज ह्यूज, absolutely the biggest game of the season in the football calendar, आप बोल सकते हो, along with the Champions League finals and whatnot. But at the same time, भाई इस weekend में do not forget Serie, the lone person putting the flag of Serie above. I'm telling you guys, Inter versus I believe Roma, Napoli versus Milan, a very important game because Milan has to come back. Or Serie title race is closer than other leagues by far, in my opinion. Very close title race coming in. But let's quickly go before the FPL. Just 5 minutes. Nathan, El Clasico, मतलब your 2 cents if you have to give me. मतलब are Real Madrid lucky to have Bellingham, or the fact that Bellingham is doing that because he's playing for Real Madrid?
I think Bellingham was doing it for Birmingham City. It's just people don't give the championship any respect at all, and it amazes me how I've said it on this channel. Top 5 toughest leagues, top 5 most difficult league. I've said it on this channel, and people laugh at me because no one has heard of teams like Blackburn and all. Obviously we have, but
Oh, Blackburn
I've
was so
all.
difficult to beat, yaar.
I mean,
मतलब
like,
back
come
in
on,
the
yeah,
day.
Mortingham's, Pedersen, you see, come on,
Yep.
we've been there. Let's not do this again, Ankit bhai.
Savage,
We
done,
have been
whatnot.
Friedel. Anyway, in
So yeah,
Zonzi,
Barcelona. If you actually look at this, Real Madrid have literally been, top of the table. Yes, but because of Bellingham, he's
Bellingham.
literally got them half the points directly. One can argue. Okay, and Vinicius
Half
Junior
the
was anyway
points,
injured.
more than half the XA.
Correct.
He's been all over the place. It's
Okay. Oh,
people will find this a little disrespectful, but without Bellingham, I think even without a striker, even if you'll had Joselu and not Bellingham, I think it would be really different.
yeah. But either way,
Um,
Felix is I think is fit. He was Barcelona fans बहुत ज़्यादा tension में आ गए थे. He's fit.
no,
जो
he's
नेमार
fit.
है.
He's definitely fit because I did the Barcelona watch long yesterday. I watched him play. He looked okay. He just went off because obviously there's a very big game coming up. It makes sense. No one's going to miss Roberto, as all my Barcelona subscribers tell me. They might no one's going to miss Roberto. Might miss Rafinha and Pedri, obviously Kunde as well, De Jong. There are obviously some misses here, but I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound very very vanilla. But the same way we have to stop Haaland, they have to stop Bellingham. I think if they stop Bellingham, I think Barcelona win quite comfortably actually, because I think
Yeah.
Bellingham has become such a danger to the opposition that if you don't cross your T's and dot your I's, he's going to make you pay. And it only takes one, right? How many games have they just won by one goal? It only takes one opportunity to set Bellingham off, and it'll be bad.
But same thing can be said about Barca. Although they have a lot of youngsters as well, a factory हो रही
He
है.
played
मतलब
well.
यहाँ पर
Sterling Lopez played so well yesterday, Ankit Bhai. He
exactly
should
he
have
was
got a hat
superb.
trick on his own. He should have
Correct.
got
He
a
should
hat trick
have.
on his own. He hit the post twice. He was
अच्छा
blinding
यहाँ
shots.
पर ना
Ja
मैं
Felix's goal
थोड़ा
was
आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट
a.
बोलूंगा नितिन बट आई फॉरगॉट दिस पॉइंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जोशुआ थैंक्स फॉर ब्रिंगिंग इट अप yes we are discussing the El Clasico quickly यहाँ पर but Tonali because हमने just discuss किया था Newcastle वाले game में yes he's being banned for 10 months but he's available for this particular game but I will be really surprised if he plays if I'm being very honest with you.
He was on the bench for the Champions League game, I think, and the league game. Is that
He'll
correct?
be on the bench
I
again
believe
at
so.
best. Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming back to the El Clasico, even though we have many players injured, but Messi is good, but still we have the world best academy. Exactly what we were discussing. La Masia at disposal. I'm not worried. Forza Barca, and despite our injured, we are still a challenge for Real Madrid. But Camp Nou mein nahi hai. Remember that it's an El Clasico, not in the Camp Nou. So that's why I think it'll be a difference maker.
It was a good atmosphere yesterday against Shakhtar Donetsk, but
Shakhtar, yeah,
it was a very
decent. Tha.
very very
But
good. It
again,
was a
Camp Nou
very
is
good
Camp Nou,
atmosphere.
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Especially in El
but
Clasico.
you if you are limited, then the next best atmosphere should
Correct. They have
it's good.
created that at
It's
least.
good.
Correct.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Laughter Club पूछ रहे अंकित भाई why every player performs their best in Real Madrid? Kepa is average goalkeeper in Chelsea, but in Madrid he's looking like top goalkeeper. First of all, let me correct you there.
I don't think a lot
Laughter
of
Club,
Madrid fans are happy about Kepa anyway. I don't think they're going to make it permanent. I'll be shocked.
no, it's the other way around. I believe things have changed. Talking to a lot
Yeah.
of Madrid fans over the last couple of weeks, things have changed, and I have to correct there. देखो क्या होता है ना, social media will tell you one thing. Kepa is definitely not good in a couple of aspects. Not good, I would say. He's very bad, in fact, in a couple of aspects. But in all the other aspects, he's among the top five goalkeepers in the world. People can laugh for as much as they want to laugh. Lekin many aspects, Kepa is right up there. But overall, I agree that he's just above average. That's what makes it, because there are certain things where he's really bad. Just say presence in the box in terms of crosses. Kepa is terrible. Be it shots, kind of exactly what you know what I mean. मतलब इतने सारे goals का example देते हो लेकिन Kepa has literally won us cups, been there, done that, week in, week
Is he
out
better
for
than is
games
he better
together.
than De Gea?
No, nowhere close. No, he's not.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you said that. There were people bothering me on my live stream.
Nowhere
He
close.
got
How can
replaced
you
by
compare
Unai
Kepa
Simon.
and
He got
David De Gea?
replaced by Unai Simon and Kepa. I'm like,
David De Gea is a legend,
chill.
bro. What are we saying? Kepa
The,
is
the
nowhere
Spanish
close.
the Spanish national managers are so biased, and they're like,
Yeah, no,
oh, he
they
got
are.
replaced by Unai
Matlab,
Simon.
let me put it this way: Spanish national managers, and with all due respect, for them, tiki taka is football. There's nothing else in
Exactly.
football. Matlab, a goalkeeper's primary job is to keep the ball out of the net. That is the primary job. मतलब
Yeah.
for me, David De Gea, but again, वो point पर भी हम discuss करना भूल गए. David De Gea back to Manchester United, yes or no? Just in one word.
This is not a
Rumors are
question
going.
to
That's
me.
why
I
I'm
love
asking
him.
the
I
question.
love him. This is not a question to me at all. It's
I
yes.
know, so, out
This is
of
not a question.
syllabus.
This is probably the last person you should ask this question to.
करेक्ट करेक्ट
You
चलो
should ask
चैट आप लोग
anyone
बोलिए
else before this.
चैट बोलिए नेथन प्लीज इग्नोर दैट ओके मैसेज कोड बोल रहे हैं there's so much hype about Bellingham and I agree he's a good player but he has not been tested enough okay has he been tested enough we saw what happened to him against Atletico Madrid but again that Atletico Madrid was probably the only game apart from Sevilla जहां पर आप बोल सकते हो he personally not good look good Union Berlin also for the first 1 hour you can say that लेकिन I think अगर आप टोटल ऑन ऑल कॉम्पिटिशन 15 गेम्स में से अगर 3 गेम्स बोल रहे हो ही इज नॉट बीन गुड आई वुड स्टिल से दैट ही इज अमंग द बेस्ट प्लेयर्स इन द वर्ल्ड ऑन फॉर्म बट आई एग्री ही इज नॉट अ जिडान पीपल कंपेयरिंग जिडान दैट इज अ बिट टू मच जैसे हम बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पर केपा और डाविडिया का कंपैरिजन नहीं हो
I mean,
सकता अभी के लिए
if you're going to genuinely nitpick like that, Messi is good. Like he, I can't express this enough. He was doing what y'all see now in the championship. It's just that people don't care about the championship. At 17 years old to retire a jersey is unheard of in any sport. Whatever the league is, whatever it is, it's unheard of. Whatever the sport is, it's just unheard of. He has actually done this. That is why there is so much importance behind it. Because Liverpool wanted him, United wanted him, Real Madrid wanted him. He came to Carrington. Sir Alex Ferguson showed him around the spot. He didn't choose us. That's fine. No harm, no foul. It is what it is. I don't hold any ill will. Unless there's a pen to paper, I don't really care. People can be interested all they want. It makes no difference to me. But these were the clubs that were interested in him when he was starting to make moves, and that was he came to Carrington when he was a Birmingham City player. By the way, just so we're clear, not when he played at Dortmund, not when he's doing well at Real Madrid. That's when he came to visit Carrington. So I honestly knew he was going to be this good, and it's not that surprising. It's just that everyone else is realizing how good he is now because well, he was doing really well originally in a league that is closer to our league, so we are more aware of it. That's the best way to explain it for me personally.
Okay, guys, 1 hour 25 minutes. I am yet to do FPL. I have another stream. Quickly, let's get a prediction. I'm going to do 5 minutes is what the cap was for El Clasico because of you guys. Again, all the guys who were asking for El Clasico, around 25 of them walked away because of my mini rant. फेयर इनफ ठीक है आप लोग नहीं समझो तो ठीक है भावनाओं को समझो बट जो भी लोग यहाँ पर आए प्रेडिक्शन दे दीजिए आपके क्विक स्कोर प्रेडिक्शन चैट फॉर एल क्लासिको वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्कस टैक्टिक्स एंड ऑल दैट क्योंकि कल सुबह एक वीडियो रिलीज होने वाली है फॉर पीपल आर इंटरेस्टेड हिट दैट बेल आइकॉन इट्स अ ग्रेट वीडियो विद अ गेस्ट एज वेल तो आप लोग चेक कर सकते हो वो फॉर श्योर इन द मॉर्निंग यहाँ पर ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज अ फैन चैनल फॉर टू सी लेकिन आपका प्रेडिक्शन नेथन व्हाट्स योर प्रेडिक्शन
I'm going to enjoy myself. I hope there's lots of goals. I'm going to
एंड
go
रेड
2-2.
कार्ड्स
No, no,
ओके
no.
ग्रेट
I don't want. I'll tell you why I don't want red cards because the game just gets ruined. Spurs Luton is the best example. Even though Spurs were outclassing them with 10 men, the game just became crap after that. 2-2, just have fun. Just let's enjoy it as neutrals. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
चलो 2-1 बोल रहे लाफ्टर क्लब यहाँ पर मतलब 3 to Madrid to be honest it'll be a great result if Madrid can get that because Barca is still unbeaten remember इस सीजन में अभिषेक बोल रहे 1-1 interesting that मेरा prediction आप देखिएगा in the video because that's the giveaway and I've reasoned out tactically as well लेकिन guys I think we have discussed lots quickly यहाँ पर FPL लेने वाला हूँ for all the few people who are still watching big up to you all अगेन हम हर एक स्ट्रीम में बोलता हूँ कि टुवर्ड्स एंड होता है एक घंटे के बाद में होगा एफपीएल चैट so people are interested you know that the tips and pointers that I give for FPL is literally gold dust so people who are here great to see you guys but I have already given you what are the easy fixtures Nathan how's your are you playing FPL by the way
Yeah, I got 81 points last week.
great man
Right.
great
All right. Doing all right. Can't
I
complain.
I may not be able to give you
I'm
shout
in your
outs
league. I'm in your league. I
correct
have a
correct so
league of my
Nathan is
own. I'm
right
in
up
your
there
league as well. But yeah.
but I know a lot of Swardeep, Pudin,
Oh,
Harsha. I think
Devesh is killing it.
Devesh,
Devesh is
Devesh
he's
is
being
doing
very
well. Yes,
sneaky. He's not here today. He's very sneaky, climbing up the ranks. I'm keeping an eye on
बिल्कुल
him.
भाई एक सेकंड सौरदीप वाइल्ड कार्ड के लिए गए क्यों है एक तो ये बताइए सौरदीप ने मुझे मैसेज किया था दैट आई एम गोइंग फॉर अ वाइल्ड कार्ड बिकॉज ही वांट्स मो साला एज कैप्टन अब देखो जस्ट बिकॉज दैट यू आर गोइंग फॉर वाइल्ड कार्ड नाउ वाइल्ड कार्ड इज प्लेड यू नो व्हाट गो विद अ फ्री हिट wild card is played when you know that there is a back to back games wala cheez you have all of 3 weeks game weeks before the next international break for all we know इसमें से 3-4 injured हो जाएंगे sorry वाइल्ड कार्ड क्यों वेस्ट कर रहे हो आप अपना? आई वुड नॉट सजेस्ट दैट पर्सनली, बट इफ यू हैव टेकन, फेयर इनफ, you have already had my suggestion.
Also,
But
also, I got a notification late last night that December and January fixtures have been changed.
correct,
So you
and
have to
Chelsea are playing on
again be careful.
a Christmas Eve, by the way. Talk about that. लेकिन हाँ, यहाँ पर quickly अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ टीम ऑफ सौरदीप, हाँ, forget that part. What I'm going to say is quick pointers. Aston Villa, Liverpool, Spurs, Newcastle, West Ham, Brighton, and Arsenal are the teams to go. If you want to pick players, if you want to pick players for a wild card, or if you want to transfer in players. I remember, यहाँ पर Aston Villa, Liverpool, Spurs have particularly easier fixtures. तो I would say go for them highly. आप अगर वैसे देख रहे हो, उस हिसाब से देख रहे हो, तो भाई आप जैसे डैन बंद कर लियो. आई थिंक ट्रिपियर इज अ नो ब्रेनर. आई थिंक सर्टन players are kind of must-haves, I would say.
Lascelles might be
Trippier,
a good short-term option if you have picks in hand, even though he's up to 4.0, because
but Shimikas
Botman
is a great pick.
apparently,
Shimikas
yeah,
is a great
Simikas
pick
is a great pick.
because Robertson is out for 2 months.
Apparently, Botman might be out for 2 more weeks. So if you can't afford Trippier and you just want a Newcastle defender and you have less money, Lascelles could be a really good call. Just letting you guys know. I don't have him, but I'm just letting you know, just so we're clear.
Or I would say even like for example, Pedro Porro is not too bad considering that कहीं ना कहीं Spurs are scoring goals. और जो I know उडोगी के बारे में हमने सुना है थोड़ा बहुत, लेकिन Pedro Porro का तो it's a no brainer, he'll be there. Shimikas we already said. I think Salah, highly recommended captain is bar, highly recommended in fact. Son, Madison, one of them has to be in your team. Saka has to be in your team, I would say, along with maybe
Bowen?
one of Odegaard or Martinelli. Well, these are must-haves. I'm referring to. I'm not discussing Sorosev's team. I'm just saying the must-haves.
You don't think Bowen is a must-have for the next few fixtures?
Exactly. So, एक और मैं आ रहा हूँ. One more person. If I'm talking about midfielders, Salah, one of Son Madison, Saka, one of Odegaard, Martinelli, and one of Bowen or Mitoma. ये मेरा recommendation. मतलब again that particularly मैं आंसर दे रहा हूँ जैसे how it used to happen, right, when the question क्या बोलते हैं, question sheet used to come out. I'm giving the answer sheet first. This is your answer sheet. Answer sheet में आप Areola and goal is a brilliant pick by the way. Sordeep का highly recommended. Trippier, Pedro Porro, one of Gabriel या Shemikas, Salah, one of Son, Madison, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli में से एक, Bowen और Mitoma में से एक. Watkins is a no-brainer. Definitely pick him in your team. अल्वारेज और हालैंड के बीच में एक जन, अब किसको पिक करोगे इफ यू आर?
Before anyone answers that question, I wanted to ask you this. I'm wanting to talk to about FPL to someone. What do you think? Forget the players behind, okay? What do you think about a 3-4-3 with Alvarez, Haaland, and Watkins? If you can fit them in,
Yeah, why not bring it on? Because a lot of people have dropped Haaland apparently. Well, is it for real this time?
Yeah, no,
so
it is for real. Apparently, a lot of them have apparently dropped him to get in Trippier or Trent, and maybe both in some cases. So that's very interesting. They've gone with Alvarez, which makes a little more sense because I think he can play in multiple positions, so he will get game time one way or the other. But I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet, personally. So.
चलो बट ठीक है भाई. हाँ, घंटा गैंग का क्या हाल है भाई, देखते हैं अपन एक मिनट में.
Oh wow, Abhishek has had the same front three from day one. My God, I don't want to know what your total money in the bank you have. Brilliant. If that's the case, brilliant call.
ABFC घंटा गैंग, this is what it is, guys.
Look at this. Look at Devesh creeping there, top 6.
Yeah, Devesh is creeping. Abhishek is 11th, by the way.
Is 4th. Wow.
Yeah, Saurabh always is in the top 5, almost more or less. Amit Chauhan and enough, and Tashi above him though, although Tashi came down. Kanishk, Sandeep, Deepta, Balpreet, Nishant, आप लोग को भी shout out है भाई.
Very terrible. I'm way down with 502 or 500.
I'm not even made transfers for a good, I would say 5 game weeks out of the 9 game weeks, to be honest. But मैं तो ऐसी मतलब I just created the league, that's why I've done it. But कोई नहीं. But guys, I think more or less we have covered must-haves. हमने cover कर दिया, हमने suggestion answer sheet भी दे दिया हमने.
Oh, can I give one more?
please.
One more. I believe they call it enabler in FPL terms. 2 options. I'll tell you which one I'm going for, just to make the Chelsea fans a little happy today. I'm going to bring Cole Palmer in. That is what I am doing.
That's a good shout.
And
Penalty
enabler,
taker.
if you're interested, because of Solly March's news, Adingra.
Wow, that's an interesting one as well. By the way, देखते हैं भाई who gets कौन कितने पानी में है. But guys, thanks यार, thanks for being there no matter what. Again, big up to everyone, big up to all the mods. थोड़ा सा mods again. A lot of things I've said in the stream for a reason. थोड़ा सा mods. I know expectation is much, but that is what how as a fam we can go ahead with the live streams because live streams requires more moderation. Somehow, unless everyone in the chat is like an Abhishek. Big up to Abhishek and everyone here. General Bumrah, Messi is good. By sub members को मैं shout out नहीं दे पा रहा हूँ, but you know exactly what it is. Derain, where is he? By he was there earlier, but कोई नहीं. Big up to everyone here, or of course big up to Nathan. यार 1.5 घंटे हो गए. I hope by now everyone watching has not only subscribed but also hit the bell icon, not only on our two channels but also on Nathan's channel, that is Sports on Nathan. मैं literally half an hour में live हूँ on Almighty Sports भी, ठीक है. तो Almighty Sports में we are live in half an hour's time. I believe वहां पर बवाल मच रहा है. Let's have some
Would
banter
you
in
like an update?
with
I have the
Pakistan losing.
score. Would you like an
I
update? I
have
have
it.
the score here.
I
Oh,
will side by side open है. South Africa did 80 runs in 20 overs. Easy with 6 wickets in hand. But we'll be discussing in detail on Almighty Sports. I think Anshuman is joining us 9:30 को. 9:20 को हो जाएंगे लाइव, ठीक है, क्योंकि मैच खत्म हो जाएगा
Anshuman
तब
from
तक.
Anshuman's watches cricket. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he watches a lot of cricket. Everyone watches
Tell
cricket.
him Nathan said Palestrian for the
Yeah,
derby just to see his
I called him and
reaction.
a couple of other panel members, लेकिन वो available नहीं थे अभी. But कोई नहीं. And Abhishek, Laughter Club, Joshua, सब लोग को भाई big up. Cole Palmer is in the
I
mix.
should.
Interesting. चलो guys, अभी के लिए इतना ही है. We will be live on Almighty Sports at 9:20. Nathan will be live no matter what tomorrow for the watch alongs, as well as I think tonight. Are you doing Crystal Palace Spurs by any chance?
No, I'm doing Chelsea Brentford because of scheduling issues. Actually, normally I
चलो.
don't do the early
Nathan giving us
kickoff. And
competition on Almighty Sports and
no,
Almighty
no, no.
Blues.
It is normally I do late night matches because it's much cooler to sit in this
Just
room because
joking,
it's
bro. Of
boiling
course,
hot in
we're
Goa.
more than welcome.
And then I'm doing the El Clasico because I have a lot of Barcelona supporters and they were like
Same
do
here,
one, do
same
one,
here.
do one. You only do
Exactly.
Premier League. I'm like okay. So
नहीं
I'm
नहीं,
doing
we
one
will.
for the first.
By the way, our video is coming on about El Clasico in the morning. Don't forget that, and tomorrow live for the Chelsea game as well. Love you all, no matter what. We'll be there. Almighty Sports, abhi. Chalo, bye.